Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, murder suspect fatally shot in police operation, cop injured. A murder suspect identified by police as Rasheen Thompson was fatally shot and a policeman wounded during an operation in downtown Manchester on Wednesday morning. Thompson was a suspect in last year's killing of Xavier Fogo, better known as the Naya Gang, who was shot dead after participating in a live stream on the popular social media platform TikTok. Preliminary reports are that around 4:10 a.m., the police went on an operation in Downtown District in search of the suspect when they were shot at. The policeman's vest protected him from life-threatening injuries. He has been taken to the hospital for treatment, the news was informed. Police said the gunfire was returned and Thompson was wounded. He was taken to hospital and pronounced dead. One firearm was recovered during the operation.
On Wednesday, the 29th day of January 2025, about 4:10 a.m., a team of police personnel from Manchester Division and Area 3 HQ conducted an intelligence-driven operation at Downs District, Manchester, in search of wanted man Rasheen Thompson, who is wanted for murder committed in St. Catherine and Clarendon divisions. On the approach of the police, they were greeted with gunfire. Police took evasive action and returned the fire. When the shooting subsided, a search was conducted inside of a dwelling house, where Thompson was found suffering from gunshot wounds. A Springfield .45 pistol was also recovered. Thompson was taken to the Mandeville Hospital, where he was pronounced dead.
Man dies after gun attack at his home in St. Catherine. Detectives assigned to the St. Catherine North Division are investigating the shooting death of a man in the Hawkers Hall district. The deceased has been identified as 44-year-old Tyler Hewart Wilson, also known as Joe. Reports indicated that around 3:45 a.m. on Tuesday, residents heard explosions coming from Wilson's home. The police were summoned and upon arrival, checks revealed that he was shot. He was transported to Linstead Hospital, where he later succumbed to his injuries. The Linstead Criminal Investigation Branch is leading the investigation. Man found dead at his home in Portmore. The police are probing the death of a man who was found bleeding on his bed inside his home in Portmore, St. Catherine, early this morning. The deceased has been identified as 37-year-old laborer Andre Hyman of Smith Avenue in Newland. According to reports, around 2:30 a.m., Hyman was found lying on his back in his bed at home with blood coming from his mouth. He was assisted to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The Bridgeport Criminal Investigation Branch is leading the probe into the circumstances surrounding his death. AK-47 rifle found in unfinished building in Central Village, man arrested. A police on Tuesday seized an AK-47 assault rifle in Central Village, St. Catherine. A man was arrested in connection with the seizure. Reports from the Central Village Police are that about 7 a.m., a team on patrol in the area conducted a search of an unfinished building. During the search, the weapon was found and the man was arrested. He remains in custody following further investigations. Teen charged in fatal shooting of gal thief. A 19-year-old construction worker has been slapped with several charges, including murder, in relation to the fatal shooting of a woman known as a gal thief in Tavares Gardens, St. Andrew last year. Charged is Zaporn Swaby, otherwise called the Noah of the community. Swaby is also facing possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a firearm to commit a felony charges stemming from the incident. The deceased is 26-year-old Janelle Palmer, otherwise called a gal thief, also a construction worker of the same community. Reports from the Hunts Bay police are that about 2 p.m. on Tuesday, October 8, 2024, Palmer was visiting a relative when she was attacked by men armed with guns who shot her several times. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, Palmer was seen with gunshot wounds to the upper body. She was rushed to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. Swaby was arrested at a later date during an operation. He was charged on Tuesday following an interview in the presence of his attorney. His court date is pending. Transport operator charged following fatal St. Elizabeth crash. The transport operator, who was involved in a fatal crash on the Hodges Main Road in Black River, St. Elizabeth on the weekend, has been charged with 2 counts of causing death by dangerous driving. Kawane King was charged Tuesday and is scheduled to appear before the St. Elizabeth Parish Court in Black River on Thursday. Andrea Walters, a 50-year-old seasonal farm worker, and a 46-year-old Gary Berry, laborer of Crawford District in the parish, died in the crash. It was reported that sometime after midday on Saturday, Mr. Berry was riding his motorcycle from Brompton to Black River, while Mr. King was traveling in the opposite direction in a motor vehicle with passengers, including Miss Walters aboard. The motor vehicle reportedly made a right turn, resulting in the motorcyclist crashing into the side door. 3 men arrested in connection with the murder of retired nurse in St. Anne. 3 men have been arrested as detectives in St. Anne intensify their probe into the murder of 72-year-old Dolores Murray, a retired nurse from Pyramid Heights Housing Development in the parish. The police suspected that Ms. Murray was killed between last Saturday night and Sunday morning. Commanding officer for the St. Anne Police Division, Senior Superintendent Dwight Powell, says the men will be questioned. SSP Powell also confirmed that a second vehicle, a 2024 Toyota Corolla Cross, was stolen from the residence by the perpetrators and was later found abandoned in Ocho Rios. It was earlier reported that a BMW motor car was stolen from the property and later found abandoned. He is urging anyone with credible information to assist the police by calling 876-974-2533, 876-974-2469, or the nearest police station. More than 5,000 Jamaicans issued with final removal orders from U.S. A little over 5,000 Jamaicans are listed among more than 1.4 million non-citizens on the U.S. Immigration and the Customs Enforcement non-detained docket with final orders of removal. According to the document published by ICE, as at November 24 last year, there were 5,120 Jamaican nationals who would be targeted for removal. The island is also listed among 11 countries considered to be at risk of non-compliance in accepting the return of their nationals. The Caribbean island of St. Lucia is also included on this list. ICE noted that while at a risk of non-compliance countries accept removals, they fail to meet one or more cooperative country criteria, which may include delaying the issuance of travel documents, refusing to accept certain categories of their nationals, or not accepting chartered removal flights. There has been renewed focus on undocumented immigrants in the U.S. following the execution of the Trump administration's plan to impose severe limits on immigration. In the meantime, U.S. Immigration and the Customs Enforcement has listed several other Caribbean countries whose citizens are facing deportation. Haiti tops the list for the region with 32,363 individuals, followed by Dominican Republic with 12,699, and the third is Jamaica. Smaller Caribbean nations are also featured, including Barbados with 151, St. Lucia 202, and Grenada 149. Mexico leads the global list with a staggering 252,044 cases. Caribbean governments have been urged to be proactive and put contingency plans in place to receive their nationals. Attorney believes that Florida's attempt to block remittance from illegal immigrants will be thwarted. U.S.-based Jamaican immigration attorney Wayne Golding believes alternative methods will be used to send the money from Florida in response to a crackdown on how illegal immigrants can send the money out of that country. He was responding to the governor of Florida's announcement that the state will be seeking to block some remittances as part of attempts to curb illegal immigration in the United States. Ron DeSantis wants anyone sending money overseas to be required to show proof that they are not an undocumented immigrant, but Mr. Golding believes this move will not hinder the outflow of remittances. He contends that there are not many illegal immigrants appearing in person to engage in remittance transactions, relying instead on straw persons whose immigration status is legal to do so on their behalf.
I don't think that there are large numbers of people presenting themselves to do remittances who are not legally in the country. So this opens up another avenue wherein people are going to use straw persons like they've always done to send monies out of the country through remittances to Jamaica. And this has been traditional for years upon years. And of course, the remittance agencies have put in place also protocols to make sure that the people who are picking up monies are not part of any scheme or scam. I don't think it will dwindle significantly. It will be impacted, but I don't think there will be a significant impact from the state of Florida alone, which is the second largest Jamaican community in terms of states in the United States. But I do think from my personal and anecdotal experience that the majority of people sending monies home through remittances are not illegal, are not people without status. So I don't think Jamaica has a lot to fear in that sense. And not only that, there are also alternatives to sending monies back home.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.